Hello? Thank you for asking. Soon. Soon, and I'll tell you details. Imagine the calendar in your mind. November 12th, I post the video. Goes crazy. Thank you. But now I'm like, I need to record it. So I hadn't planned on doing that for a while. So I didn't really have a plan in place. I made a plan. I made it happen in like 3 weeks. We recorded on December 6th. 3 weeks may sound like a long time to some, but I had to work with all of the schedules of all 4 of my bandmates, one of whom was recording remotely because he lives in another state. The other 3, one of whom has a full-time job as a professor, and the other 2 are full-time students. We also have to book a session in the studio and make sure that it's open for long enough, so we do it on the 6th. It goes super well. I'm trying to rush this process along because people are asking me for the song. A couple days later, on like the 10th or 9th, we have our first mixing session. It goes well. I'm trying to rush it along even harder. On like the 12th or something, I take it to my mastering engineer. We do master it. It doesn't come out super great. That's because we didn't spend enough time on the mix. For anyone who isn't aware, mixing audio is a really tedious process that involves a lot of science and psychology. I love to talk about it. I'm happy to talk about it more in the future, but basically it is a lot harder than like just setting the instrument levels and stuff. Also, in the midst of all this, I'm working on 2 versions at one time. There's the live version that you guys really like and the studio version that nobody's heard that is the more important one to me because that's the version I've always seen it as from the beginning. The live version is a demo. And I want to release them at the same time because if I only put the live version out, then that's gonna be the main one that people pay attention to. If I never put it out, then people will be sad. So I want people to pay more attention to the studio version because that's the one that I'm working a lot harder on and I care a lot more about and I think is way better. So they're gonna come out at the same time. But that means I have to work on them at the same time. You may be thinking, but Vanya, wasn't it already done? It's on YouTube. Yes, but putting a song on YouTube or SoundCloud or Bandcamp is very different than putting it on Spotify and Apple Music. Distributing music is a different process than uploading a file to a website or posting a TikTok on TikTok. Back to the timeline. Midway through December, we master it. I'm not super into it, but everybody's going out of town for holiday break. I have a manner of things to take care of at my regular person job. So we wait for holiday break to happen, a couple weeks. We come back. I start working on it again immediately. And that's where we're at now. So we've had one more mixing session last week. I have another one coming up on Sunday. That should be the last one because we don't want to take too long on this and be super duper perfectionists. But it is very important to me that I make my art the way that I feel it deserves to be made and I give it the time I feel it deserves to have. And that I have a good time doing it because I love the process. It's a big thing for me.